Hello, hello, hello. How goes it tonight, everyone? Welcome. How's everyone doing? D-Many, what's up tonight? The Warrior, what a punt. Everyone else, good to see ya. Geist is a spirit. That is true. But this is, I don't know. So this is a deck built by Caleb D over at Channel Fireball, and it looks really sweet. It's like Spirit Tribal, also with Collected Company and a random Rhino Monk. I love. What's up, Chili Villain? You're also a Seth? Seth's all around tonight. Yeah, Caleb is awesome. I like Caleb a lot as well. But this looks like a really fun deck. And Rox Warmonk is, for some reason, I really like this card, and it just never sees play. But this is one of my favorite, like, underplayed modern cards. So we're going to give this a run through a modern league. Mostly because, I mean, it looks really sweet, and I want to test it out. Also, we haven't played Modern for quite a while. Apes of Wrath, well, I'm glad I can help your commute be a little bit more bearable. Don't wreck your car. Did we do a podcast this week? We do a podcast every week. It went up on a Monday night. Well, it gets posted every Monday night. We record it Monday afternoon. Richard edits it up real quick, and we post it Monday nights. So we did one this Monday. We talked about Conspiracy. I complained a lot about Inquisition being rare. That said, and I'm going to write an article. I think my article this weekend is going to be about it, but I'm really excited about Conspiracy. Not so much because of this set, although this set looks really awesome, but sets like Conspiracy, if they're going to do them this way, can be the solution to a lot of the reprint problems we've been having. Like, it's essentially an unlimited print run set, like a standard set, but it also doesn't have the baggage that comes along with standard or modern, where they have to worry about power levels and so forth, so they can literally put any cards in there and have them be impacted like financially, like they were in a standard legal set. So it's so awesome. So I'm excited because they haven't shown the willingness to do this before. Apaka, thank you for the follow. But they haven't shown the willingness. They've put some cards in past sets, but they've mostly been like somewhat fringe legacy cards, like Misdirection, for example, things like that. But we haven't seen any just like super high-end modern reprints, so I'm excited for it. Also not a fan of Inquisition at Rare, but although I complained a lot about it, if I have to choose between Inquisition at Rare and no Inquisition, I will take Inquisition at Rare. Pop Potatoes, thank you for the follow. I mean, essentially, it is similar to a standard set. Like, it's not like Modern Masters where you're going to have problem getting it. You can still get the first Conspiracy for below MSRP. There's boxes all the time on sale for places, so it's more similar to a standard set where you'll be able to buy as much of it as you want for as long as you want. They're selling packs in Walmart and Target, so yeah, it was a little bit like standard 8-rack. Oh, thank you. Alright, so anyway, let's do the quick reminders. If you want to see old streams, like Standard Reg from Tuesday, or any of the past ones, then make sure to check out and subscribe to the MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube. Also, we got new playmats, Commander Clash playmats, t-shirts, the regular playmats, So if you want to support the site and the stream and the YouTube channel, picking up one of those would be amazing. And, of course, if you can, follow the Twitch as well if you haven't. I know a lot of you already have, but if you're new, it lets you know when we're on and streaming, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're going to do a league, a modern league, with Bant Spirits, and hopefully this deck is as awesome as it looks. So what do you think about the new Confiscate Riches card from Conspiracy? Seems so sick, I'm turning into a blue player. The video is flickering? What do you mean? I'm so confused. Flickering? It's... is it flickering for other people? It doesn't look like it's flickering to me. Which is why I'm so confused. GKMB, thank you for the follow. Like, I have it up on my other monitor, and it doesn't look flickery to me. Huh. Well, if you're having video... Huh. Well, maybe try refreshing. If it keeps going or gets worse, let me know. I'm not sure how to fix it because I can't actually see it. Yeah, I'm not even... I intentionally don't, like, upload YouTube videos or anything while I'm streaming for that exact reason. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me double check that there's nothing more I can close that could be doing this. And then we'll jump into the league. I mean, I don't have very much open, so I'm not really sure. Alright. Anyway, we're going to jump into it. Well, let me know if it gets worse. It might just be a Twitch issue. Sometimes Twitch is a little bad like that. But I'm going to do my thing since I really want to try this Bant Spirits deck. So yeah. Competitive Modern League. Ooh, we even have the play points. Okay, yeah, keep an eye on that too. Maybe you can change the quality there. So I'm excited. I think this deck looks really fun. Hopefully it's actually good. I played against this deck as Grixis Elfer. Would recommend a second Kira. It's amazing. This is Caleb's list. We did an instant deck tech on it. I'm sure Caleb has probably done videos or streamed it. I haven't actually seen it be played. Meeksbuzz, thank you for the follow. So yeah, I haven't actually seen Caleb playing it, but I'm sure it's sweet. He's a good deck builder, and it looks really fun. Playtested it some? Yeah, it looks good. If you're having trouble, see if you can mess with the quality options. That might fix it. We're getting reports that changing quality to source is fixing it, so... Alright, here we are in round one, playing some Bant Spirits. I know, I'm hoping for some rhinos as well. Honest Magic, thank you for the follow. So, let's take a look at this opening hand. No blue mana, well, no blue lands, but we got double Hierarch and a Kira. Alright, this looks fine. I guess this is about what we would expect. Nico, thank you for the follow. If you click on the gear logo, if you go to the bottom of the video, there's a few different options, like full screen and volume and stuff. There's a gear there. If you click on that, you should have a video quality option that you can set to source. So hopefully that will take care of it for you. It seems to work for some people. Twerk, thank you for the follow. So we're just going to Temple Garden untapped into a Noble Hierarch. Yeah, I think this hand's fine. I mean, there's no collected company, but we got good spirits. What's up, Malcolm Jr.? How goes it tonight? So we'll just pass the turn. Wooded Foothills. Freak One, thank you for the follow. Oh, yeah. I have the video recording set up. Let me move the chat over a bit. It'll be fixed momentarily. There was nothing important in that part of my hand anyway. Ooh, alright, so we're up against Scapeshift. This is going to be interesting. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that Source is working for people. Alright, let's just Breeding Pool, untapped, and just get a Kira down. Pass the turn. So I think we want to draw counter spells for Scapeshift, but mostly try to kill our opponent quickly before they can beat us. The only scary part is, okay, Valakut. We do have a Selfless Spirit, which is nice. That protects us from Anger of the Gods. Another Search suspended. So probably what we're going to do is just pass. Ooh, Drogskull Captain. I really want to get that down. But I don't really want to get wrecked by Anger. So we're going to get in with Kira for 3 and just pass the turn. Sold your Fevered Visions for $1. How much are they now? I mean, that still seems like a pretty good deal because they were super cheap. Hopefully we can trick our opponent into going for an Anger of the Gods, and we can Rattle Chains, flash in Selfless Spirit, and just completely blow that out. And then back it up with Drogskull Captain and hit for a ton of damage. That might be a fast enough clock to beat Scapeshift. I mean, essentially we're racing a Titan, I think. Wow, yeah, getting them for 2 cents. Oh, you got them on Moto? Yeah, that's a fine sell, I think. Alright, so end of turn, we will Rattle Chains. Oh, we have to give us Spirit Hexproof? Ugh. Alright. And counter the Hexproof, so now our opponent could bold it. And then Selfless Spirit. Windswept Heath. Alright, let's just run out the Drogskull Captain. Play Windswept Heath, swing with everything. Well, not Noble Hierarch, but I'm doing well tonight, Flashlighter. How are you? Any ideas for brewing with the new Planeswalker from Conspiracy? Lynn, thank you. Lynn Tobias, thank you for the follow. So the problem with Conspiracy is you can only really play those cards in Legacy and also Commander. So I haven't really worked with them too much for that reason. I don't think there's any real reason to play Hierarch there. And our opponent scoops it up. If there was some way that our stuff was going to get killed, it's probably better to have a Hierarch left over. Yeah, you can play them in Vintage as well. Mostly if there was some way they could sweep our board, I figured it was better to have something left over. Yeah, I guess they could be through the Breach, and I misread that situation. If they're playing Breach and Emrakul, then it would have been better to run it out. So I think we want negates here. And do we want a second Kira? I bet we'll do Mind's Dilation for Against the Odds. Berserk reprint is pretty sweet. That's a good high-value reprint. It's really nice that it allows people to potentially build Legacy Infect, or at least like a competitive budget version of Legacy Infect. So that's one of the awesome things about that reprint. At Mythic, I'm actually fine with it. For some reason, Inquisition at Rare really bothers me. I think it's because those effects, minus Thoughtseize, those effects can discard, 1-mana discard with restrictions, have always been uncommon. The exception is Thoughtseize, and it kind of makes sense because there's no restriction on Thoughtseize, but Blackmail, Duress, the whole list of them, there's a ton of variations, have always been common or uncommon. So it feels a little weird to have it bumped up to rare. But Berserk at Mythic makes a lot of sense. It's been Mythic before. It was, I believe it was Mythic in the latest Magic Online printing. Yeah, Berserk, believe it or not, is actually an uncommon. So it's not on the reserve list. Yeah, Spy Kit is a really interesting card. That's one of the cards that makes me wish it was actually in Modern. I think that would be a fun build around in Modern. I guess we go down to Anafenza, and we'll go down the birds. Yeah, that's the only real justification I can see is secondary market for Inquisition being rare. But like I said, I would rather see it uncommon, but I would rather have it be reprinted at rare than not be reprinted at all. If that's the sacrifice we have to make to get it reprinted. Arnog, thank you for the follow. So Serum Visions doesn't really bother me being bumped up in rarity, because I think they've set the precedent that 1-mana cantrips are uncommons now. As far as, like, Brainstorm, the latest printings have been uncommon. So I think that's just something that Wizards now sees as uncommon. So that doesn't really bother me. And it's going to be dirt cheap anyway. Even at uncommon, I expect it to be super inexpensive. So that's something I'm going to talk about in the article. We have these competing interests. We want our... And I haven't fully formulated my thoughts on this, so that's part of the reason I want to write an article on it this weekend. But we want Magic sets that are perfectly on flavor and fit the story and the theme, and I think that's good. But we also want to see expensive cards reprinted so they're more accessible. So I think that what we got to do is expect the story and theme to be really on point in standard legal sets, and that we're going to have to cut Wizards some slack, essentially, when it comes to these supplemental products, because we need these cards reprinted. So if it means the flavor's a little weird on Inquisition and Kozilek and Conspiracy, I think we gotta be happy that they're willing to make those sacrifices, because I think the greater good is that we are getting these reprints, and Inquisition is going to be super cheap, or much cheaper, so people will be able to play it. Is Bushwhacker Zoo still a good deck? It's a reasonable deck. It's playable. Courser of Krufix for our opponent. Well, hopefully we draw a land here, I think, would be best. So we can leave up Spell Queller and Collected Company. Yeah, I guess we crack this. Get a Hallowed Fountain, maybe? Yeah, we'll get a Hallowed Fountain. What's up, Bloody Scythe? And welcome to the stream, Valupi. Land? Drog Skull Captain. Huh. Alright. I guess we just pass and leave up Queller. I've been playtesting this deck a lot. Took out the 2 Warmonks. Added a Tamiyo and a Nebelgast. Interesting. Did you like those changes? Did they seem to make the deck better? I could see that. Opponent gets into their Courser. We can Spell Queller the Courser, though. Yeah, 8-Whack is pretty sweet. Bushwhacker decks. Sinchar, thanks for the follow. I'm expecting Wrath to be printed soon after Kaladesh. What's the Ether revolting against? Maybe Phyrexian Oil? Will Bolas use Wrath to try to eat Dominaria and steal its mana? Interesting theory. Tiwu is a sensitive subject on CFB? Well, I mean, I know he was a writer there for a long time, so maybe there's some hurt feelings or something. Yeah, let's Spell Queller this Courser, I guess. Might as well. That's a Titan, though. Does our opponent have a land? Alright, they traverse, shuffle away the Titan, get a land, and have a land on top. So they're going to be able to Titan next turn if they have it. Ay. Oh no, and they shuffle a Titan to the top again? Oh, we're in trouble now. We are in trouble. Well, let's get in with Spell Queller. Did I see the Splendid Reclamation Valakut deck? I did. It's pretty sweet. And then Mausoleum Wanderer. Selfless Spirit. Pass the turn. Oh, more lands. Yeah, I think we're going to lose to this Titan. Kind of unfortunate that our opponent shuffled the Titan right back to the top. Yeah, I mean, that's an advantage of being able to use Courser to manipulate your draws like that. It is sort of like cheating. Spell Queller only hits things converted mana cost 4 or less, so we can't actually hit a Titan with it. I can't believe our opponent is not just jamming a Titan here. There we go. Yeah, Spell Queller would be sweet if it just hit anything, but there is a mana restriction, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, you're just used to it hitting everything because most stuff costs 4 or less. Yeah, I don't know if we can get out of this now that they've stuck a Titan. Because they're going to get Valakuts and just start mowing down our creatures. Maybe. The other thing is they can just get Valakuts and start going at our face. They even have a Farseek on top. I don't think there's anything we can company into. Sty6, thank you for the follow. I don't think we have Reflector Mages in this deck. I mean, oh yep, there's double Valakut. Shuffles into a Sakura Tribe Elder. I guess maybe he could have brought in Paths. What would happen if someone equipped an Awakened non-basic land with Spy Kit and you crumbled it to dust? I think you would exile all creatures with that name, as far as I can tell. So we're just dead here, right? We take 7. We'd have to chump, but this gets another land. So we're taking 9. Yeah, we're just dead. What's up, Naz Smith? How goes it tonight? Dinotron, how you doing? Yeah, this is a little more tricky, I guess. Oh, did I say creatures with the same name? Yeah, I guess it would exile all the creatures. That sounds like a good against the odds trick, actually. Unfortunately, can only do it in Legacy. Well, if it was a non-basic land, though, you could. I believe. Maybe we don't even want negates? I think we have to. Alright. Qasali does kill Courser. What is it better than, though? Like, what would we take out to bring in Qasali? Spy Kit gives the creature all names, the name of all creatures, something like that. We have 2 paths. I think we still want Path. Path can technically let us beat a Titan. I mean, kind of on the tempo plan. Sometimes, like, fogging 1 Titan attack is enough. I don't know if Spy Kit will be listed yet because it's so new. This is modern. Yeah, Berserk is a good one. Mausoleum Wander. I think we want to be the aggressor. I'll go down a Mausoleum Wander and go up 1 Pride Mage. Let's try it like that. We're also on the play, so I more likely want to just curve out before they can get going. Ugh. Well, I think we got a mulligan. If they bold our Hierarch, we just might never cast anything. Jeez. Alright, I guess we're going to 5. We're picking up where we left off last stream. Alright, I guess this is better than before. I don't know if negate's high impact enough. Maybe? We get to Hierarch, hopefully into Kira. And then we could Pride Mage, leave up negate for an Anger, maybe? I'm gonna put negate to the bottom. I don't think it's high impact enough or consistent enough. So Forest, Hierarch, go. Oh, this Mold 5. Thank you for the follow, JL something. Let's see if they have a bolt for our Hierarch. Looks like the answer is yes. I guess it could be a suspend card. Untap Stomping Grounds. And there's a bolt, of course. How much do I play Legacy? What do you think about the new D&T editions? Oh, now we have a Coco, but we're never going to cast it. Well, we get to Pride Mage. 2 cards in hand. I don't know if the odds of this working are very high. I mean, Recruiter probably can do some good things, but it's not Imperial Recruiter. Most of the combos that Imperial Recruiter works with don't work with the new Recruiter. So I think it could probably have its own combos and do some good things in the format. I think the Chalice of the Void creature is better, personally. Alright, Search suspended. I guess we want to land here. Alright, well, Township is a land. It does not let us cast our Kira, though. But we get in for 3, and we're 1 land away from Collected Company, which is a pretty good way to undo a mulligan. Yeah, it does feel a little against the odds to be on the Mold of 5. I think the new white cards are pretty solid. I don't know about the new Sultai Legendary. I know some Legacy players are hyped about it, but I'm not sold on that one. Maybe it's better than I think. Yeah, that's the biggest problem with the new recruiter. What's up, 18Z Cooper? Is that it can't get Painter Servant for the combo. Alright. Seems like everyone is a fan of the new Sultai Legend. This song is Spanish. Yeah, the Berserk reprint is pretty surprising. Almost lost to someone on a Moldifor. Well, Noble Hierarch, get in with Pride Mage. Our opponent's just going to block and sack. But if our Hierarch lives, we could theoretically Collected Company next turn. That might be good enough. I like the new Duretti. Spirit of the Labyrinth is also a 2-drop, though. Maybe the spoiling of... it's possible the spoiling means that. Although, Conspiracy spoilers are weird because they're only 1 week. Yeah, apparently our opponent did not sack and get a land there for some reason. Which is actually pretty good for us. Oh yeah, by the way, Zendikar flashbacks are up on Magic Online. Alright, there's a Courser. Courser on top. There's a land. Opponent passes. We get a Selfless Spirit. Well, let's attack with Qasali Pride Mage. Ah, I just don't have the time to do rough drafts right now. I wish I could. Way to go, 18Z. That's awesome. So our opponent takes it, drops to 8. Well, let's just pass in Collected Company. See if our... Oh, they have a Through the Breach on top. Let's see if they have Land Titan. We know one card is Courser. Land Titan is pretty good. They could get 1 Valakut trigger. Alright, they just play a Courser, so no Titan this turn. So we might actually be able to win with Coco, depending on what we hit. If we can hit, like, double Lord or something. We need this to be a good Coco. So we take 2. Also, we could potentially untap and draw a land to let us Scaveny Township, which would also be good. Alright, Collected Company. Get to look at the top 6. And that was a pretty bad Collected Company. Not very good at all. So now what's the plan? What's up, Kluger and Happy Go Lucky? Awesome, Dog Puppy. I'm glad you made the stream. Yeah, I guess I could have cast it in response to the Courser. Maybe that would have been better. Is there... So we get in for 5. We could actually get in for 6 if we Phantasmal Imaged. Image can copy a Titan. Alright, so let's get in with Spell Queller. Put our opponent down to 3. Do we just Phantasmal Image a Courser here? We're going to play Selfless. I'm worried about Emrakul. We know they're drawing Through the Breach. If they Through the Breach and Emrakul, we need to be able to block Emrakul and sack 6 permanents and win on the backswing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we have to play Image. Because we're going to win next turn. Even through a Titan, I think. We could Kira in Selfless. Maybe that's better. That also taps us down a lot. Alright, we'll do that. Selfless Spirit. One, two, three, four, five, six. Block, block. Alright, yeah, that works. Alright, pass the turn. See if our opponent can kill us here. Farseek on top. Hey, welcome, Peterzini. Yeah, this is probably better. It seems likely that it's going to get there. Even if they Emrakul, I think we live and can win on the backswing. And I don't think Titan is going to kill us. Actually, maybe Titan does kill us. Oh. I think we lose to Valakut triggers, right? And our opponent gets to gain a ton of life. They get Valakut Mountain. So I think we're just dead. Plays a forest. Man. Greetings, Alistan. They just had the... They had the right combo. Whoa! Our opponent did not attack? Oh my god! What just happened? One, two. So now we just win, right? Yeah, that leaves us with Xaxes in the air. Wow. What happened? I don't even understand. I mean, even if you're out of mountains, how do you not attack with the Titan? Like, just slam it in there. It's gonna die at the end of turn anyway. How? Wow. I have never, I mean, yeah, I guess it was just a pretty epic punt. But we will take it. We mulled to 5, so a win's a win. Hey, welcome, Nixbot. Enjoy your early night off. Yeah, I guess it was just a punt. That was really strange. White Recruiter gets Flicker Wisp that can get Allurin instead of Impure Recruiter. Play Arctic, good old Arctic Merfolk instead of Dreamstalker. Alright, so there are builds that can take advantage of White Recruiter. It goes well, Vanishing. How are you? Oh, that quote. Oh, so I guess we got lucky on that one. I'm not really sure why we won there. We probably shouldn't have. Sin RBD. I still think we were probably just dead if they attacked and got 2 mountains. They would have triggered for 12, and they would have had a Trampler, and we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 toughness. So I'm pretty sure we were dead if they just attacked there and got 2 mountains. But a win is a win. Yeah, the umbrella quote was pretty good too. Oh, I'm doing good, Lee. How are you? Oh, the Against Odds charity win. I guess the deck wanted to gain some life, Cape Elder. Are you playing Magic Online? It could be fun to watch live stream or something. I don't even think I have the technology to stream paper Magic. Plus, I would also have to get people to play it with me. Why don't you do an extra stream to get partnership with Twitch? So we streamed 3 times a week for like 2 or 3 months. That was kind of the goal. When we started the Twitch channel, the idea was we're gonna like hit this hard, go 3 nights a week, make this the focus, get partnered, Mr. Demir, and then we just haven't got partnered yet. So we did that for a few months. The partnership never went through for whatever reason, and there was just the middle of the week was just killing me. There's just so much because Wednesdays when we did the stream before, we also record Commander Clash, so I was like doing normal stuff during the day, mostly getting Against the Odds finished and ready to be published, and then going right into the stream, and then going right into Commander Clash on top of streams the days previous, like the day before and the day after. So it was just a really frantic schedule. Rattlehead, thank you for the follow. Yeah, this deck seems pretty sweet so far. So I'm still hoping that we get partnered. What's my favorite Twitch emo? I don't even know. I'm not even sure what all my options are, honestly. You haven't missed much, Scratch. We've played 1 match and we won it thanks to what I guess is a pretty epic punt on our opponent's part. All Momir streaming? That might do it. Yeah, I don't know why the partnership didn't go through before. Because I thought we were meeting all the requirements. My guess is we just hadn't done it for long enough. As far as, it's like 2 or 3 months that we did it. And maybe that just wasn't long enough. Scornful Egotist and Eldritch Evolution. That's a good Against Odds combo. Should play Jake and Pauper sometime. That'd be fun. Alright. We get to play first. And this hand's actually pretty sweet. I like this hand. We get a Birds, potentially into just double Drogskull Captain, and that's pretty good. Actually, we might go Birds, Mausoleum Wander, Rattlechains into Drogskull Captains. The beard braiding stream. Against the Odds, deploy the Gatewatch is definitely a possibility. So, crack this. I think we get green-blue? Because we can get white for Drogskull from Cavern. Well, if you're looking for a substitute subscription in the meantime, you can always, there's a link down below actually, but signing up for premium on MTG Goldfish, essentially the same price as subbing through Twitch, and you actually get stuff for your money other than just the stream, collection management stuff and whatnot. So if you're looking for a way to support, other than, of course, the playmats, which I always mention, playmats and t-shirts are also sweet ways to support the stream. So let's Birds go. And then we'll see what our opponent's on. If we think our Rattlechains are going to live, we might, or if we think our Drogskull Captain is going to live, we might just slam it on turn 2. That's kind of the lock we're looking for in this deck, is double Drog Skull. So good. Serum Visions. So this might be Infect, would be my guess right now. When I listen to music, do I put my playlist on shuffle or not? Ooh. Like in general or on the stream? When I have music on the stream, I usually have it on shuffle. On the other hand, in my personal life, Rigor. We're not looking for Riggers. We want Spirits. So I think, since our opponent, this could still go wrong, but I think we're just gonna slam a Drog Skull here. If we get it locked down with double Drog Skull, we just win. So I like to listen all the way through albums a lot of time, so I don't always listen to, I occasionally shuffle, but I also like to listen straight through albums. Whoo, Bob? Alright, we are in business with the lock. Actually, let's see. Windswept Heath, crack Windswept Heath. Get a forest. Actually, we need white mana. We're still gonna get a forest, I think. And then we play Drog Skull number 2 for the Hexproof Flock. Play a Mausoleum Wanderer, and I imagine this is going to kill our opponent. They're gonna need Damnation, I guess. The game is rigged. A lot of people were confusing constructs with contraptions when, was it the new Duretti was spoiled? I had a couple people tweet at me and really excited, like, "Oh, you buried the lead. We have constructs." I was like, constructs? Like half of the artifact creatures in the history of Magic are constructs. I don't know if we will ever see a contraption to be assembled. Maybe. It could happen. That might be... I could imagine that contraptions, not literal contraptions, but that could be the fixed, like, inventing mechanic that's been hinted at this fall. But I don't know if it'll literally be contraptions. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Against odds, Steamflugger boss construct Nobo Wombo combo. Yeah, just play it for the beatdown factor. The coolest tribes are Squids and Devils. So tell me if you think this sounds like a cool series. So I've been thinking about this as a series potentially for the site. The Reno, thank you for the follow. I think it would be fun to do like weird tribal battles. The Squids and Devils made me think of it, but you could do like cats versus dogs, for example, things like that. It would take two people, and you'd have to battle it out to see like which is really better, because those are important real life questions, and maybe we can use Magic to answer them. I don't know exactly how to make it work, but I've been thinking about it. I think it could be fun and funny. Vampires versus zombies. Yeah, plants versus zombies. Spiders versus aliens. So there's a lot of potentially cool questions. That's true. They are important real life questions. Squids are too OP. So what are we... Dragons versus walls. There's one dragon that would own that matchup. The dragon that destroys all walls randomly. Siege Dragon. Pizza versus burgers. That's a tough one. Should I be... Oh, should I be sideboarding here? I probably should. What are we playing against? I don't even know. Negates are probably good. Kira's probably good. Let's bring in one more Kira. Go down a War Monk. Try it like that. Yes, it was Siege Dragon. Pirates versus Ninjas. See, there's so many good options. Maybe I'll actually have to try to develop that and get it off the ground. There's a lot. I looked at it once, and there's maybe like 60 tribes in Modern alone that have enough creatures that you could do it with. Oh, the old one-lander. We are on the draw. All right, I think this is worth trying. Hungry hippos. Hippos and Devour. Rebels versus Allies. See, you guys have tons of great ideas. Alright, they're probably gonna... Man, if they take Noble Hierarch and then kill our Noble Hierarch, we're gonna be in kind of rough shape. If you're having quality issues, Bryce, Tastic, go to the little gear icon and try setting it on source. Some people were saying if they had it set on lower quality, it was giving them issues. Alright, they take Akira. We do not draw land. Alright, let's get a... Ooh. We might have to path next turn. Alright, let's just get a breeding pool. That's fine. And Noble Hierarch, past turn. You guys are still going, guys and girls. Gods versus goats. Oh, banding versus phasing. The worst mechanic of all time battle. Is Against the Odds Hydra's viable? Anything's viable on Against the Odds. Blind Rocket, thank you for the follow. There's the Dark Confidant. Land, please? Aha, it is a land. Well, in that case, we will Noble Hierarch. Path the Bob. And play a tapped breeding pool. Can we expect some budget ATO and Mucha Brew for Modern next week? So the next Mucha Brew is actually Legacy. Legacy Enchantress is the one coming out on Sunday. And then as far as Budget Magic and Against the Odds, not sure. I think the next Budget Magic may be one more standard. Against the Odds is about 50-50. I was leaning towards standard. I know the archetype or what I'm building around. I'm not 100% sure the format. So the good news is, even if it's not this week, then shortly we will be having more Modern content, because kind of getting through a lot of the big Eldritch Moon stuff I wanted to do. Just gonna main phase, I think, this Collected Company while our opponent's tapped out. I guess we just go Anafenza and Selfless Spirit. And then bolster, what is this? Lowest toughness? I guess we can bolster a Hierarch. Pass the turn. So Selfless Spirit saves us from damnation or something at least. Potatoes versus Math. Was that standard red check my own brew because it was amazing? Totally loved it. Yeah, that was all me scratched. I mean, to be fair, some of those synergies were known. Like, we saw the Graveyard Filling Package in a lot of decks. We saw the Haunted Dead and Prized Amalgam synergies. So it's not like I am the first person to discover those synergies. But the main things that I feel like I can take credit for are adding the Deathmist Raptor Den Protector package, Decimator of Provinces, and building the deck around Evolutionary Leap. So the previous builds were more like blue-black zombies with Haunted Dead and Prized Amalgam, or like 4-color Emerge that was built around Elder Deep Fiend and Kozilek's Return. So yes, I think I can pretty much take credit for it, even though some of the synergies were already somewhat known. So our opponent's going to take up Liliana. We're going to discard I guess just a Rattle Chains? Yeah, Decimator, Den Protector, and Raptor are pretty sweet. Wow, our opponent is going risky. So we just get to play a Drog Skull Captain. Play that bolsters something. Oh, our Noble Hierarch. Play Township. Do we just hit our opponent? Do we even care about Liliana? They can make us sack a mana source? Yeah, let's just hit our opponent. I don't really care. We're empty-handed. They make us sack a Noble Hierarch. Like, what's the worst they can do? And they could just die to their Dark Confidants. Yeah, Valakut Dredge was my brew as well. Really, a high percentage of the decks that... I mean, much of brew are all not my brews. Those are all from the instant deck techs. But as far as against the odds, those are basically 100% original brews. And Budget Magic is mostly original brews. Like, so we play archetypes occasionally, like Modern Burn. I didn't create Modern Burn, but I built the deck of it from scratch. I didn't just copy and paste someone's list. I actually built the deck. And most of them are very much from scratch. Like, the Blue-Green Emerge deck, all of them, really. But some of them, what I'm trying to say, are already archetypes. So, like, some of them are, Modern Burn is a thing, but I built a budget version of it. But a lot of them are completely original and not derivative from a non-budget archetype. I don't think they can win. Getting volunteers for the opponents in the tribal battle stream. Yeah, I haven't got to the point of actually figuring out how to do it yet, but I will keep that in mind, because I would have to figure that out. Yeah, I guess the Modern Minotaurs deck was an exception. Sower of Temptation to take Drog Skull Captain. Does this keep our opponent alive? It might. Ticks down Liliana on their own Dark Confidant. Oh, we draw Coco? Do we even attack here? Let's just pass. Yeah, I'm sure I butchered the red-black Minotaur deck. I tried to do the original justice. We had the Diabolical Tutor. Oh, they get a breeding pool, so they're staying alive. Yeah, we'd have to only attack with 3, and our opponent could just block, and their Bob would go away. No, there's no infinite combos in this deck. It is, just, I mean, really, it's a Spirit Tribal deck. Alright, we'll sack a Noble Hierarch. Well, they have another Liliana? Is that what's happening? Yeah, missing the shock. That was the problem. I was hoping to let Dark Confidant kill our opponent, but so far that hasn't worked. Julian Miles, thank you for the follow. I'm hoping they just tap out of their blue mana. Like this, for example. And now we'll just Collected Company, so there's no chance of it getting countered. Alright, Drug Skull, Selfless Spirit, get some bolster triggers. And this should be enough. We don't lose to Damnation. I don't think there's a card that really kills us. Yeah, our pool of music is limited because of not wanting to get the stream muted. So there isn't that big of a pool of music yet. What cards in Eldritch Moon am I most excited for in Modern? Splendor Reclamation, Spell Queller, and the Spirits have proven themselves to be good. Emrakul has potential in some builds. Elder Deep Fiend, I think the merge cards have potential to be very good. People just haven't figured out how to do it yet. Alright, Flooded Strand. We're just going to attack with all this stuff. Opponent blocks. Eldritch Evolution. Oh, Eldritch Evolution, of course. Splendid Reclamation hasn't really seen any real Modern play yet. Well, let's make our opponent make the first move. Alright, they have Dismember. Well, let's crack Flooded Strand. Get a Plains. And Township to keep our stuff alive. Some of it. That's the turn. So our opponent's still got a lot of threats they got to deal with, and Damnation doesn't do it. Serum Visions. The Frog. Gitrog Monster? Yeah, Gitrog Monster is awesome. You should check out Overclocked Remix for music, since it's free to use for streams and whatnot. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Uh-oh. What was, I missed a comment. I never asked, but how do you feel to have me Diabolic Tutor, Shock, and kill you? If someone had done that to me, I might have tilted. It just seemed to make you very sad. Yeah, I wasn't really tilted. It was just surprising. More surprising. It was a little sad because with Against the Odds decks, I know that we're not favored to win against a lot of decks with some of our Against the Odds decks. So when I run into another budget deck or a deck that's not tier 1, I feel like, oh, this is my chance to like pick up a win. So when it goes wrong, it just kind of makes me sad because I'm like, oh, our Against the Odds deck is even worse than I imagined. All right, we're up to 2-0. Yeah, so Dismember kills things through Indestructible because it puts your toughness to 0. And if you have 0 toughness, you are dying, whether you are indestructible or not. So far so good for Mant Spirits, up to 2-0. What do you think about white-red equipment standard? Sigarda's Aid seems really good, especially with 0-cost mana spells like Cathar's Shield. I messed around with a deck like that for fun at one point. I can't remember what I was working on. Stitcher's Graph is actually really powerful. Yeah, go ahead. You can add it to my quotes. It's going well, Blaine. I hope it's going well for you. Stitcher's Graph is really powerful if you can give your creatures vigilance with like always watching. I really miss Pure Steel Paladin though. That's a card that would push the deck over the top. The white ones, Stonehaven Outfitter and Relic Seeker, whatever they are, they're just not Pure Steel Paladin level good. Flash in 4 bone saws on a storm chaser for 9 down. No! Oh, you gotta have assault formation. That's what it is. All those equipments that give you +0, +3 with like storm chaser and assault formation. That's the deck right there. That's some high quality jank. He loves saying that. I never said Richard was a tool. I said he was very good at building tools, like our deck overlay. And for some reason, it came across as is a tool. All right, we got the standard spirit hand. If fetch lands were still legal, this would be exactly standard spirits. Have you thought about doing a special episode for Against Odds anniversary? I believe your first Against Odds was in September last year, just saying. I have been thinking about that. So, 50th episode, I think this week's episode was 47. So, 3 episodes away from the 50th. And then 2 weeks after that would be the 1-year anniversary. So, I have been thinking about it. One thing I was thinking about doing was some sort of, like, retrospective video, which I think would be cool. 50 episodes is a lot of content, and there's probably some cool quotes and things that I could mash together into a video. But I don't know. The big problem is I don't think I can go back and watch all of the content, so I would probably have to enlist help if I was going to do it that way. Well, this is going to be interesting. Well, let's island off of Flooded Strand and Mausoleum Wanderer. So this is our Rhino matchup. We really need a Rhino matchup. Oh man, there's got to be an hour of land go and also of ship the turn or pass the turn. There probably could be a funny video of just me saying things wrong too. But that would take even more work. We're 2-0 in matches right now, Rogue Knight. Or Atonement Blade. What do I think about Koth being alive? Wow! Really? You're going to kill our Mausoleum Wanderer? Okay. That is burn that is not going in our face. I am thrilled about that. And our opponent passes? Alright, let's just Mausoleum Wanderer. Windswept Heath. We can search out a tap land this way. Why do I say everything wrong? I just don't read, I don't read the entire words half of the time. Oh! More burn at our Mausoleum Wanderers. This is... I am so fine with that. Let's get a Temple Garden. Let's just Selfless Spirit, Windswept Heath. I don't really want to shock ourselves. Kira is awesome. It saves all of our creatures. But I read like the first letters of the word, and then and then just kind of make up the rest of them. Sack and Response doesn't really do anything. Oh, I think that having Koth alive is cool, by the way. Someone asked me that and I forgot about it. But I think that is very cool, because I really like Koth. Alright, Craig Windswept Heath. Searing Blaze. Boom. Indestructible. Still hurts us, though. So we get a Breeding Pool. And now we'll just run Kira out there. And Flooded Strand. So no more killing our creatures. At least not easily. I don't think I said cool Tree Spirit. What's up, Vorasian Jank? Barojo96, thank you for the follow. I'm not a big fan of the new art on Inquisition, personally. Yeah, Mausoleum Wanderer isn't even much of a threat. I understand, like, bolding a bird, but bolding Mausoleum Wanderer repeatedly? That's ambitious. Alright, Lava Spike. We are down to 11. A virtual 10 as we get a Hallowed Fountain tapped. Path is decent. Yeah, let's just add Fenza here. And then get in with Kira. My favorite Planeswalker is probably Venser. I really like Venser. And yeah, let's just pass, leave up Rattle Chains. Well, our opponent found a land, so they can pump up their Nacatl. Plays another Nacatl. Cracks Bloodstained Mire. Sacred Foundry. If they get it untapped, I think we might be able to just win the race straight up. Ooh, Eidolon. Alright. Eidolon means we need to run Rattle Chains out there first. Now I'm not sure if we can win the race straight up. So, bolster, opponent gets an Eidolon. We might have to block with Rattle Chains here. I don't know if we can take 3. Wow, they didn't attack. Okay. And we get a Drog Skull? So we can hit for 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we win if we just pass Queller? Let's say we get in for 3. Pass. Spell Queller. Maybe Path. Yeah, Queller is pretty sweet with Kira. Five, 8, 9, 10. Alright, let's get in with Kira. And I think this means we can win next turn. Opponent goes to combat. Swings with everything. So let's just Path Eidolon. Puts us to 8. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the same as Caleb B's list. Yeah, I guess we just run out Grog Skull. This is match 3, actually. We've won the first 2. They likely have a Tarkus command. It might have been better to leave up the Spell Queller. Or to cast the Spell Queller. Alright, so if we block here, we take 4, 3. If they have a Tarkus command, we go to 1. If they have Boros Charm, we go to 1. On the other hand, if they can play 2 things, we lose. But then we don't win next turn, and we give our opponent a lot of time to kill us. One, two, three. Rift Bolt, Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt. Is there any way... What would let us win next turn if we double block? Well, Anafen's is going to be dead if we block, as is Rattle Chains. We still get blown out by a Tarkus command pretty good. Alright, go ahead. I'm blocking with 1. We don't die to Boros Charm. We don't die to a Tarkus command. We die to double burn spells. They need like a Tarkus command plus a 1-mana burn spell or something. Alright. They had it. Fair enough. What would we have drawn? Anafenza. Alright. Yeah, we probably would have lost the next turn anyway. We don't really have just any straight up life gain. I don't know if that was a loss because we were greedy. Maybe. I was trying to leave us in a position where we would win the next turn. Was kind of the hope. Or had draws that would make us win the next turn. Rock's Warmonk is awesome. That's a card that we want to draw. Guess we can go down a bird since our opponent showed they're going to kill it every time anyway. No matter what. Man, Rock's Warmonk is so good against them. That's a card we want. And just go down to Anafenza. Something like that, I think. Sounds about right. Yeah, let's try it like that. That's true. It was nice that the bird drew out some spells. We get to play first. And, alright, we got a Coco and a Spell Queller, so that's pretty good. And even a Mausoleum Wanderer. If our opponent's going to start burning it, that's fine. So let's just Cavern on Spirit. And lead on Mausoleum Wanderer. Negate can be good. Yeah, Kitchen Finks is a good life gainer. Maybe it's better than Warmonk. I'm playing the exact 75 that Caleb built, so I haven't really changed anything on this deck. Here comes a Swift Spear, 4-1. 2-drop. We drew a Warmonk, which is pretty excellent. It is not a Spirit, though, which means it's going to be hard to cast. Windswept Heath. Get in for 1. Pass the turn. This Cavern is not good with Warmonk. Not good at all. Cracks Wooded Foothills. Another Swift Spear. Here's the attack. Do they have a bolt? Oh, alright. Well, now we get to cast our Warmonk after all, because our opponent decided to path us. So let's get... We're getting a forest island. Let's just get a plains. Take 4. Crack this. Get a forest. I do need player reward negates. Misty, crack Misty, get an island. Now, what's the play? We can run out of Warmonk. We can also just pass and Collected Company. But Monk is so mana inefficient. That's true. Collected Company could be Warmonk. Let's pass. Let's pass and see what our opponent does. We got Spell Queller. We got Warmonk. Or, we got Coco. I think we can pass and play the instant speed game. I think that's better. Path on Warmonk would be so bad. Atarka's command would be pretty bad. There's a lot of things that would be really bad if we just ran the Warmonk out there. So this gives us the option, if we need to Spell Queller. And if we don't, we can potentially blow our opponent out with Coco. Okay, we're not going to fight over that. Alright, let's do it. See what we hit. We might have to just chump. Ooh. Double Drog Skull's pretty sweet. That's a good Coco hit. So what do we do now? I'm tempted to just double block. If we double block one of the Swift Spears, if we block, Lightning Bolt, Boros Charm, all that stuff blows us out. Whoa! Well, we don't even have to think about it, because for some reason our opponent scooped. Okay. Well, that was good. I don't know why our opponent just just scooped there, but we'll take it. I hate how unforgiving this game is sometimes, our opponent said. Our opponent said that they had a Tarka's Command in hand, but played a Sacred Foundry instead of a fetch that could have got them the mana they needed for a Tarka's Command. Snap Cryptic Command. Try bumping things up to source quality and you should be alright. Some people have been saying they've been having trouble if it's below source. Luckmas, thank you for the follow. And someone else, whose name I missed, but thank you just as much. Yeah, I guess we probably should be running negates. Go down. I guess an explosives? Could take out an Offensa for the Kira. Alright, let's try it like that. You keep playing the Dredge deck and losing with it. That's not good. Have you been running into a lot of Graveyard Hate or lots of Infinite Obliterations? Those are, or Kalidas's. There are some rough matchups if you run into certain things. Alright, this is a pretty good Spirit hand. What's the best archetype in Eldritch Moon Shadows over Innistrad draft? No, Anafen's is not bad. Is it whose deck? This deck is made by Caleb. Thank you, someone else, for a follow, who I also missed. So let's Misty, crack Misty, get a Forest. And High Arc. See if our opponent goes with Rift Bolt on our High Arc. I would be pretty alright with that.
To wrap up, I just want to say again how sorry I am.
Built a dredge deck. So you're playing Green-Black Delirium?
Big changes
Pretty similar.
over the long term.
I did not actually see Paul's Spirit deck. I heard he was playing Sea Chrome Coast in Vintage.
For me,
So I did hear about that.
those choices.
Lava
Your
Spike.
patience, I thank you.
Goblin Guide. Do we get a land? We do not. A Noble High Arc. Okay. Well, let's see Chrome Coast pass the turn. I think we're just going to try to ambush Viper in Rattle Chains to block this Goblin Guide. Opponent reveals a Selfless Spirit. Alright, run in the Rattle Chains. I had a line where discarding my entire hand to Noose Constrictor was arguably correct. You run into those situations sometimes. Alright, they bolt the Rattle Chains, which is actually pretty alright. Down to 12. What does our opponent have as a follow-up? Cracks Bloodstained Mire. Hopefully this is not Eidolon. Eidolon is pretty annoying. There's Eidolon. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, that Eidolon is so bad for us. Selfless Spirit, tap land, go. We are dead to a lot of things. That is true. Opponent Lava Spikes us. Down to 7. Do they have a Tarka's command? Wow, conservative attack. We get a land. Well, let's block Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide down. Boros charms us to 3. Oh my god. How do we get out of this? We probably don't. Hallowed Fountain tapped. I think our only play is to try to hope our opponent whiffs and Spell Queller to block Eidolon. Have you played a series where you stream and play against other streamers? Play Pauper with Professor, Vintage with Bueller. That sounds like a cool stream. Yeah, Eidolon is very good against our deck. Both High Arcs would kill us. I mean, if they draw a burn spell, our opponent just passes? Alright. Cavern. On Spirit. Oh, I don't think... We need to draw a Collected Company. Mausoleum Wanderer. I'm confused at what our opponent's doing. Just trying to store up burn spells. Alright, there's Lightning Bolt. they must have just waited till they drew 2 burn spells. So we Spell Queller, go to 1, get rid of the Bolt. Oh, maybe they drew a land. We need Collected Company. Whoa, we hit Collected Company. Oh, my lord. Can we win this game? Oh, all right. So what's our play now? We get in for 2. There's no way to pump our Spell Queller enough. I don't think we cast it now. I think we can't pump it enough here, though. Can we attack, though? The problem is, if we attack here, then our opponent swings back, but if they draw a burn spell, they can cast it in response? Or cast it... But if we attack, though, the thing is... Right, if we attack, then they get to attack with Eidolon. Alright, we pass. Do we just wait for them to cast a spell? Alright, we just gotta wait. Well, we're very close to getting them to the point of being dead or locked under their own Eidolon. And our opponent hasn't attacked very aggressively. Our opponent had an attack that would have won them the game, but they didn't attack. So we... Well, we're not just dead to burn. Alright, let's pass. Our opponent could also draw a creature and want to cast it, and that would make everything a lot easier. Like Goblin Guide, for example. So we're going to let Goblin Guide resolve. Opponent swings with both. Might as well get a land out of the way. So unless they have been slow rolling a burn spell, which I think they have a land in hand, we block and block. Oh my lord! Oh, I can't believe we won that game. I cannot believe we won that game. Whew. All right, we are up to 3-0. Oh my lord. I thought we were like 1%, maybe even less than that. Oh, but we drew the Coco at the, the absolute perfect time. Woo! Well, that was pretty sweet. So the 5-0, the 5-0 dream is still alive. Whew! All right, I gotta get a drink after that one. Enjoy the tunes. I'll only be gone a quick second, and we will complete the quest for the 5-0. Alright, time for round 4. The 5-0 Dream, still alive. Somehow, after a ridiculous game against Burn. Oh, that game was so absurd. Alright, come on, good matchup. Thanks for the follow, Havoc. And we'll play first. Sure. Get the Hierarch into Spell Queller into Collected Company. I like the sounds of that. We do have to take 3 from our Flooded Strand. Yeah, that game was pretty insane. Get a Breeding Pool, untapped, and Noble Hierarch. Yeah, this seems like about what you want with this deck. Plains for our opponent, and passes. Two Caverns. So, Cavern on Spirit, and let's just pass the turn. Just never really done the face cam thing. Some people have said they want it, other people said they don't like it. I like not having to deal with it, personally. Worrying about like where I'm looking and all that stuff. But it'll probably happen. Well, we are going to Spell Queller that. No reason to let them start hawking us. Awesome, Eric Smith. Well, welcome. Let's just go untapped. Get in with Spell Queller.
All of you go ahead and eat. I'm going to lie
Down to 15. Put our opponent down to 17. Yeah, so I don't know. I've gotten mixed feedback on it. I think it's something that could end up happening as far as the beard cam. Oblivion Ring, well, we might as well Collected Company. We could hit a hexproof creature, hit another Spell Queller. Actually, that's kind of silly. They're going to target our Spell Queller, then we can just Rattle Chains it. And then Anafenza. That seems way better than Collected Company, because this is guaranteed to do what we want. So we get to Rattle Chains. Give Spell Queller Hexproof. And then we get to flash in Anafenza. Then we still have a Coco. That way we get rid of the risk of who knows what we hit off Collected Company. Like, we got a decent chance we'd hit something that gave us Hexproof or another Spell Queller, but this just guarantees what we want. Yeah, Rattle Chains is sweet. That's the other problem is I like our overlay, and it takes up a lot of our screen, and we don't necessarily have a lot of room to put more stuff on the screen. So, I don't know. The green is for Coco and Rox Warmonk. Don't forget the Rox Warmonk. Actually, it's just deck. You don't need the list. Just deck does it. I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Another Spell Queller. Our opponent is not going to successfully resolve a spell this game, I think. Yeah, I like having the deck list up there too. If there's one thing we've gotten a ton of positive feedback on from the stream, oh, our poor opponent. Oh, this has to be so depressing. Yeah, Wrath incoming, Wrath outgoing. We get to pump up our rattle chains. And our opponent scoops it up. Oh. Oh, I feel a little bad for our opponent. We did not let them do anything. They did nothing that game. So is this like, what is this deck? Is this like an Emiria deck? The proc deck? Something like that? What's up, Harry Crocodile? It is going well. We are a game away from being 4-0 in this league. So we want Pride Mage, I assume. What about... yeah, if you just do exclamation point deck, you can see it. Awesome, Venom Pro X. Well, welcome to the stream, and I'm glad you've been enjoying the decks. If they're playing Graveyard Shenanigans, I kind of want the pass to get rid of Sun Titan forever. I think it's an Emiria deck. It kind of looks like Mono White Emiria. Nate Dogg, thank you for the follow. Yeah, this deck seems infuriating. A link to the playlist of music? Actually, no. But almost all the music on this playlist is from an artist called Visager, Visager. Various remixes and stuff that he has done. So if you look him up on Bandcamp, you can find him. So we got to take things out though. Any chance I write an article about how MTG Goldfish got started? That would be an article that would be better for Richard, in all honesty. Richard is the one that started Goldfish. I actually wasn't at Goldfish at the very beginning. Richard started Goldfish, and let's see, when is it now? Maybe over a year into Goldfish's life is when I came into the picture. Alright, we'll try this. We got Hierarch, hopefully into the Drogskull lock with Selfless Spirit backup, and we drew an additional land. So untap land and Hierarch. Pass the turn. So this deck is... This is Caleb D's list from Channel Fireball. He's the one that made it. So I am playing his exact 75. This league is actually the first games I have ever played with the deck. Yeah, Goldfish was around. I was there from the very beginning of the content part of Goldfish. But Goldfish was around doing the pricing stuff before I was involved. What do we need mana-wise? Yeah, I guess we can just take an island, save the life, and go Mausoleum Wanderer. Isn't Voice or Loxodon better? So we have not resolved a single Rox Warmonk. I really like Rox Warmonk, but it might not be the best option for the deck. Like I said, these are the first matches I've played with it, and I'm not the person that actually built it. So, kind of testing it out and getting a feel for things. So, we'll have to see. It might be better off being Kitchen Finks, Voice of Resurgence, something like that. Yeah, I haven't tried any options or made any changes to the deck yet. I'm playing Caleb's exact 75 that he built and published somewhere. He 5-0'd a league with it, I think. Scryglass. I don't know if I'm familiar with Scrygrass, actually. Glass. Alright, opponent passes. We get a land. Crack it. Can we get a forest? Yeah, I guess we can get a forest. And then we'll just... Drog Skull Captain. Pump up the crew. We're kind of playing into a Wrath. Have I built any Tamiyo's Journal decks? I've played it in Commander a little bit, but not in Constructed. I think it would be cool to see an Against the Odds while streaming. That's a neat idea. The thing that I worry about with doing Against the Odds streams... Ooh, they're going to path now? Alright, that's fine. I was worried about them pathing our Mausoleum Wanderer, but I'm fine with... Or pathing our Selfless Spirit. But I'm fine with them getting our Mausoleum Wanderer. And then we'll Selfless Spirit as additional Wrath protection. So the problem with doing... Oh my god. Oh. Alright, now we could be in trouble. No, I did not play around Mana Tithe, so we are pretty naked to a Wrath. Oh, Mana Tithe. It got me. I was not expecting it. It was pretty good right there. Alright, another Squadron Hawk. The only good news is our Lords are pumping Mausoleum's Wanderer's power. So it's making it a little bit harder for our opponent to Wrath. And Seer Ascendant. Alright, we draw land. So let's get the Drog Skull lockdown. Well, I will play around it next game, that's for sure. Ravnik on Fire, thanks for the follow. Oh, so the deal is, one of the things that makes Against the Odds work, I think, is that I can speed it up in the editing. So I'm a little worried that streaming it live would make for a really boring stream, when it would take a long time to get through everything. So that's my concern. More Squadron Hawks. So we need a collected company, more Lords. The problem is they're getting to the point where they can triple block a Drog Skull Captain, which is kind of bad. That works. Keep pumping them up. Oh, alright. Man, did you ever see this in Standard? This was an actual deck in Standard, and it was pretty sweet. The whole Drog Skull Captain Phantasmal Image deck. Oh, sweet. Well, I think there's a decent chance we can just win next turn. We still got the Wrath covered. I mean, counter Wrath unless they pay 4, and they're not even close to that. All of our important stuff has Hexproof. I guess they could, like, Sun Titan. Alright, well, time to sack Mausoleum Wanderer. It does mean we don't just win here. Come on, one more Lord. One more Drog Skull. That might do it. That's so greedy. We only have 2 Drog Skulls in our deck. What else could we hit that would win us the game? Nothing? Alright, so we're not going to Coco. Let's just hit for 12. Put our opponent to 1. And then if they Wrath, we can Coco post-Wrath. Are you for real? Seriously? This is modern! Alright. Well. Okay. So we've gotten got by Manitive and Blessed Alliance so far. What? Yeah, I guess I should have attacked. I could have sacrificed my Hierarch into the Seer Ascendant, but it's modern. Who plays that? Alright, hit our opponent down to 1. They got no cards in hand, so we're not getting caught this time. They're going to Ghost Quarter their own Flagstones. Yeah, I guess I could have just Coco'd and we likely would have won there. Yeah, blowouts all around. Yeah, they're actually... It doesn't really matter because they're hexproof, but that's a fair point. And our opponent scoops it up. Alright. Well, we are 1 win away. 1 win away from the fabled 5-0. 1 win to go. This deck is pretty sweet. Have I considered playing Utron on stream? Yeah. I think I would play Mono Bluetron. I like it. I've played it before. I've played Giftstron, Mono Bluetron. I haven't played it on stream though, but that could be a cool stream deck. 5-0 or unfollow, that's too much pressure. Feel like Seth is always going 5-0 with a deck, then I play it and go 1-4. Yeah, I don't go 5-0 that often, but I don't know, maybe I'm lucky. Yeah, the Blessed Alliance and the Manitive are definitely highlight worthy. No, we've lost 2 games. So right now we're 8-2 as far as games go. Yeah, Velcut Dredge is a good idea. What's up, Stu? Just in time for the 5-0 with Caleb's Bant Spirits deck. Alright, here we go. Come on, good matchup. Not Tron. One time, no Tron. No Burn either. Burn was so close. Yeah, we did go 10-0 with Naya Super Friends. On the draw, opponent's mulliganing. 1 land, but we got a Hierarch. Alright, let's try it. Opponent's going to 6 on the play. Sacred Foundry. Oh, Lord. Grim Lavamancer. Well, we drew a land at least. Noble Hierarch, go. We are going to have to kill this Grim Lavamancer, though, or it is going to ruin us. We do limited on stream sometimes. Opponent Korax, Wooded Foothills. Seems pretty good so far. And Searing Blaze, fair enough. Now we're back to needing lands, and we're probably going to have to path Grim Lavamancer. Well, that's a land. Yeah, we just got to path it. 30 hours with Bad Company, Stu? That's depressing. TLY25, thank you for the follow. We play Momir versus viewers quite a bit. We don't usually play Constructed, but we do play Momir. Alright, let's crack this. Get a Hallowed Fountain. We have green, right? Yeah. Let's get a Hallowed Fountain for Anafenza. Township. And Drug Skull Captain. Get it out there. If our opponent Rift Bolts it, at least it's not going to our face. Boros Charm, down to 9. Oh, we're running out of time. Where's a Rox Warmonk when you need one? Down to 6, that's a bad number. Down to 3. Gotta hate Bird. Our opponent mulliganed to 6 and killed us on turn 4. That's burn. Oh, this matchup is so miserable. Well, we did it once. We could do it again. This deck does not have sideboard cards for this matchup, though. Oh, the dream is dying. Is there a way to spectate games on Magic Online? Not tournament games, but casual games, yes. Well, we did it once. We managed to beat Burn in that ridiculous game. So, it could happen. We need a good draw. We need a Rox Warmonk. We have not cast a Rox Warmonk this entire game? This entire league. So, this is Rox Warmonk's time. If there was ever a time for Warmonk to shine, this is it. I think we lost game 1. I don't know if Engineered is worth it. Maybe we need it. I mean, it hits our 1-drops. Oh. Giant Goblin, thanks for the follow. How did we do it last time? This looks like straight Boros, perhaps? Boros Bird. I'm almost expecting not as many creatures. I don't think this is Naya, so I'm not expecting, like, Nicodles. Commander Stream we've talked about, but we haven't really figured out how to do yet. I've been saying that for a while now. It could happen. But so far, we haven't figured out the way to actually make it work. No, I think we want Kira, actually. I think we brought in the Kiras last time. Yeah, I think we went down Birds and Anafenzas. Was there a Stomping Grounds? Are you sure? Well, there's our Warmonk. We are probably going to set this Cavern on Rhino. And hope for the best. Also, hope we draw lands. That's true. If you want to see Commander streams, Tom does stream Commander. Alright, let's pass the turn. Alright, crack Misty. Get a Hallowed Fountain. We're gonna need green mana. I want to be able to path, but we also need double blue. Yeah, no turn 1 play is good. Alright, we'll take Hallowed Fountain. We did not draw land. Well, Mausoleum Wanderer. Oh, this cavern. This cavern is killing me. We would have either had to fetch out a basic land, Embodied Pain, or taken 3 damage to fetch out a shock land. And against Burn, that's risky. The problem is if we set this on Monk, then we can't cast our hand. Literally. Our mana is so bad. We can set it on Spirit, and that turns on Spell Queller, Drogskell Captain, and Kira. Yeah, alright. I did it. Monk it is. Yeah, if we draw another land, then we're fine. It's on Monk. I set it on Monk. Swift Spear for our opponent. Do we draw land for our Monk? Oh, sweet. That actually doesn't let us play all of our stuff, though. But we did it. We did it, boys and girls. We have a Warmonk down. It happened. First time in the entire league. And a good time it is. If they go to Path, we get to sack Mausoleum Wanderer here. So hopefully they do that. That would be sweet. Can you beat the Rhino? He's like juggling golden plates. Yeah, we probably are going to get Path, but what can you do? Oh, Eidolon? Okay, sure. I'm fine with Eidolon. And we even drew another land? Wow. Alright. Well, let's attack first. If our opponent wants to block here, that's fine. Good, even. Breeding Pool. Tapped. Pass the turn. Leave up Spell Queller. Next turn we can Path the Eidolon and play a Kira, and then we're all of a sudden in really good shape. Opponent attacks with both. Sure. And just passes? Well, they're not going to win this race. Get in with both. Opponent goes with Deflecting Palm. Next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you, prevent that damage. If the damage prevented that way, it does that much damage to the source's controller. Do we path? Do we have to path this thing first, though? I mean, I think we do Spell Queller it. Alright, we'll quell it. Get rid of Deflecting Palm. Get in for 5, gain a bunch of life back. Up to 19. Seems like we're in pretty good shape. Goblin Guide puts our opponent down to 5. Actually, at this point, their Eidolon is better for us than it is for them. Another path. What am I going to path? I'm so confused. Well, let's attack with everything. Opponent blocks and blocks. Goes with another Deflecting Palm. What are they targeting? Kill the Eidolon. Now they have to target like Spell Queller. And we still gain the life, because they die if they don't target Spell Queller. And then we'll just play Akira. Oh yeah, we set that on Monk, I forgot. Why did we set that on Monk? And that does it. Yeah, Monk was pretty good. I guess setting it on Monk was worth it. That's true, that's true. I guess it was the right choice. Good job, Rox War Monk. Okay. Well, let's do that one more time. I kind of do want a little bit more removal. Eidolon is so good against us. They are good against Burn, apparently. Bant Spiritstron Dragon, we are a single game away from the 5-0. Come on. I don't usually like to win by opponents mulliganing and things like that, but I would be perfectly fine with our opponent mulling to 4 this game. They are playing Burn, and I've never felt bad for a Burn player. Alright, this hand's pretty reasonable. Double Coco is sweet. Oh, opponent has something on 1. Stomping Grounds, untapped. And Swift Spear. I don't know if Burn players technically count as people. Let's just Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn. Probably gonna get Searing Blazed. Opponent gets in 4-1. Oh, here's Searing Blaze. I knew it! Oh, a Tarka's command? Alright, I'm okay with a Tarka's command. Sure. That's actually pretty fine. I just want to make sure we live long enough to start casting collected companies. Kira. Oh, Flooded Strand. And I think we're just going to pass. Leave up Negate and the ability to path Swift Spear if they pump it up. One land away from double Coco, and double Coco might be enough. Lava Spike down to 10. Alright, I think we take Lava Spike hit. Crag Flooded Strand, get an island. Path the Swift Spear. Come on! Land that isn't painful for collected companies. Oh! Another collected company, but not a land! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, alright. We just kind of decide. There's not any real scientific process to it. Can we live long enough? Boros Charm, alright. That's going to draw out the negate. Oh, these Cocos got to be good for us. Oh, or we just draw a Spell Queller. So let's get in with Mausoleum Wanderer. Opponent's going to path it. Get a forest or a plains. Alright, pass the turn. Oh, now here's the question. Yeah, 9 life, it's hard for us to lose from here. Next turn, I mean, with Spell Quelling. They would need 3 1-damage burn spells. Okay, they Lightning Bolt our Spell Queller. Gets back the Atarka's command. So that's basically the same as just bolting our face, except it gets the Spell Queller off the table. Oh my god. That's a Helix. It seems fairly likely that we're dead. Oh, I think this does it. Oh. Yeah, I guess it doesn't kill us, technically. Opponent didn't even attack. Ugh. Problem is, if we just cast Coco, we lose to a burn spell. And our opponent didn't play a land, they didn't play a creature. It is very likely they are sitting on a Coco. If we Coco now... the problem is, if we don't Coco, we likely will lose as well. Isn't there a decent chance that our opponent's going to just cast their burn spell at the end of turn? Alright, I expect that we're dead here. Those were actually pretty good hits. Mausoleum Wanderer can actually save us from a burn spell. Let's Flooded Strand. We might be winning now. We're just going to stop on our opponent's upkeep in Coco. Nikado. And that should be the game, boys and girls. And is this lethal? And that does it. Got the 5-0. We didn't have lethal from just attacking. Sweet. So apparently Bant Spirits is pretty legit. So wow. Yeah, whoever said, all of you who said he was bluffing, and to cast the Coco, you were right. So, half a point for all of you. I don't think we had lethal in the air, did we? Oh no, no! I'm still traumatized from when I opened 12 or what 8 Eternal Masters packs or whatever it was. That was bad. I think we were one short, but I figured if we hit a spirit off Collected Company, then Mausoleum Wanderer would get pumped and we would win. So that's why I Coco'd there. Oh, score! Well, that deck seems sweet. If you want to try the deck, by all means go for it, because, oh, we just got a 5-0, and it seemed really good, so. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Pan4 Express. Possibly. I'm not going to open the packs. Good news is, we do have enough time for a game of Momir to close out tonight's stream. So, if you are interested in a game of Momir, send me a challenge, and we will battle it out in Momir for our last match of the stream tonight. 5-0 for Bant Spirits. Update that. Also, we'll update the overlay so everyone knows the beauty of Momir. Oh, Momir. Well, that was a sweet league. I am super happy with how that league went. Doesn't get much better than that. So the deck seemed really good. We questioned Rock's Warmonk the entire time. And then it came through in the very last match. Very last match. So I guess it's deserving in those matchups at least, because I don't think we would have won that match without Warmonk. I don't think Kitchen Finks would have won us that match. So maybe Rock's Warmonk is better than it looks. Alright, oh, and it is scratched. Vorthosian Jank scratched, beat you to it this time. You can be at the top of the list for our next Momir battle if you're around. So Momir, the avatar kind of says it all. It's like the randomest, the most random format on Magic Online. Random creatures, random stuff happening, and it's also super cheap. So if you're looking, remind me, Vorthosian Jank, and I will make sure that next time you get moved to the top of the list. So if you're looking for a cheap intro format on Magic Online, Momir might be it. It is really random and pretty fun. Crazy things happen. Should have named Ophi on Cavern. Mr. Cookie Monster, thank you for the follow. Alright, let's pitch an island here. 2-drop is Crackling Witch. Discard a card, target creature gets +X/+O. Pay black and X and discard a card. These spell shapers were so weird. How do I feel about Jund Control or Jund Delirium in Standard? I think the deck has good matchups against the Emrakul Graveyard decks. I think that's the big reason to play it. So, I think it's reasonable. I haven't actually played them. I'm just going by what other people have told me. Curry42, thank you for the follow. 3-drop. Ooh, Wolfar Avenger. This card was actually decent in Standard in its day. Our opponent has an Eagle of the Watch. The problem with making 1-drops in Momir is most of them aren't that good, and you really want to get up to making 8-drops most of the time. My avatar is Peacekeeper. Yeah, so, oh, our opponent hit a Etched Oracle, which died immediately. Sorry, Scratched. So 4-drop is Paragon of Fierce Defiance. Pumps red creatures, pay 1, tap it, give a red creature haste. Yeah, Etched Oracle isn't great. Minute Cuber, thank you for the follow. The deck list is obviously for Bant Spirits, not Momir. Momir deck list is on the side of the screen. This does combo with our other red creatures. Arbor Colossus. Ooh. Well, our opponent's never going to get enough green mana to monstrous it, but it is a 6/6 with reach. So that shuts down a lot of flyers. When do I get play points in flashback drafts? After the draft ends. So, Mr. Cubed, if you make it all the way through the finals, you should get the play points immediately when your match ends. But if you lose in round 2, for an example, you gotta wait for the rest of the matches to end, like the entire draft to end, to get your play points. So we get a Sliver, Vigilance, 3 for 5. Not very exciting in Momir. I mean, I guess out of all the Paragons, the red one probably isn't a bad one. Vastwood Gorger. So we want more, preferably red slivers. I think that's what we want more than anything. If we can get some red slivers, all kinds of good things happen. Alright, 6-drop. I don't even think there is a 6-drop red sliver. And Hydra Broodmaster. Green and double X for monstrous. When it becomes monstrous, put XXX green Hydra creatures onto the battlefield. Yeah, Primeval Titan is the best. I've been tinkering around with the standard Dredulus, trying to collect Bucherli and Minref. It's an extremely tight list with not a lot of room to make changes. Yeah, that's the problem I kept running into, Steel Wolf, is it's just so hard. It's even hard to sideboard in that list, because so many of the cards are necessary for, like, the synergy of the deck. Well, we're going to keep getting beaten down in the air. Pangalactic Worm. 9/5 with trample, so kind of big. Maybe do we just want to skip our... So we make this a 10-powered creature? That's not that good. Let's wait. Let's just make a 7-drop. Oh, the old 1/1 flyer. Well, at least it can trade with Eagles of the Watcher. Yeah, we're done with our Modern League. 5-0 with Bant Spirits. Sorry, I've been watching Ricky and Morty lately, and must have sci-fi outer space stuff on the mind. Oh, but yeah, we're done with Modern for tonight. We will snap off a block with our 7-drop if our opponent attacks with that flyer. Did our opponent whiff again? Oh, they just skipped. All right. Come on. Good 8-drop. Oh, no. An Elder Dragon that's going to kill itself on our upkeep. Did I say Ricky and Morty? I've also been watching Trailer Park Boys. I'm just mashing together all the TV shows I've been watching in my head, apparently. I don't know about the owl. You got a problem with owls, Morty. Yup. We have not gotten any red slivers. And definitely no snow slivers of any color. Luckily, our opponent's getting things like Colossus, which isn't very good. I don't think we want to do Hydra. Getting 3/3/3s isn't all that great. Avatar of Might. Is it possible to make Standard Dredge post-rotation without ruining the deck. So the deck will definitely need to adapt and change a bit for it to work post-rotation, because you lose Deathmist Raptor, Dumb Protector, and Evolutionary Leap. But I think it's possible that it can survive. I think the deck will survive. You went to high school with the actor that plays Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. Does he act like that in real life? Or is it all an act? Gain 3 life for each artifact we control. Man, this is one of those bogged down games of Momir. Well, I guess we're going to start getting in for one. Come on, Rhyme Feather Owl. Opponent. Oh no. Here comes the Eldrazi. What was the punt now? Scar Goliath. 9/9 trample. Well, let's keep getting in with the Flyers. Stormcrow is better. Oh, our opponent remembered. Okay. I thought our opponent didn't realize it because our opponent hadn't been blocking. But Scratch remembered that it had reach. Okay. I thought we could get away with it. Sun Crusher. Pay 4, remove a counter. Ugh, that's not very good at all. Are we going to get annihilated? Oh, the chat's too big. 27, 7, 8, 20. 20 mountains, 20 swamps, and then it doesn't especially matter for the other ones, but I think it's 7 forests, 7 plains, 6 islands. Sounds right? But the main thing you want to do is make sure you have plenty of mountains and swamps. Those are the big ones. You could also play a waste. Some people are supporters of waste. What's up, Colby the Cheese? Annihilator still makes you sacrifice things, like we had to do right there. Living Hive. Man, we just keep getting big ground creatures. And our opponent has even bigger ground creatures. This has been a long, not much progress made. No one's hit any real haymakers. A weird game of Momir. I mean, I guess that's Leviathan. Can't attack unless you sag 2 islands. Enters the battlefield untapped. Doesn't untap. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can sack 2 islands to untap it. Then it can't. So you have to attack. Oh, you have to sack 4 islands to attack with Leviathan. Seems like a reasonable deal. Ooh, but we got a Trastodon. We'll leave the forest. Let's get the swamps. Boom. Well, we finally hit something good. Trastodon is pretty awesome in Momir. Ooh, Hithonia the Cruel is pretty sweet. I don't think I've ever hit a Hithonia in Momir. Against odds Leviathan, that would be a good one. Unfortunately, it would have to be in Legacy, so you'd probably just have to play, Reanimator or something. So, I mean, you can play any lands that you want to, but The main reason I play this breakdown, and a lot of people play a similar breakdown, is to minimize land walk abilities. Like if your opponent gets island walkers and things like that, you don't want to get wrecked by those because they're very powerful. Because you got to remember, in Momir, there's no real removal. I mean, there's some. You can hit a Shriekmaw or a Flame Tongue Kavu or something, but there's not removal spells like in other formats. So if you hit a 3/3 Swamp Walker, there's a decent chance that's going to deal like 18 damage or even just win the game. So you minimize your exposure to that, and you play red and black mostly because that's where most of the best activated abilities are. And then the other ones, the way I do it is I try to play just all mountains and swamps, and then I played the forest because we hit Hydra Broodmaster. We might want to use that at some point, or regenerate this Wolfir Avenger. So just kind of play them if you get, oh god, if you get something on the battlefield that requires them. Yeah, we have a ton of green creatures. We would actually turn on our Nylea. So weird. I mean, I guess that's Momir. It's random. Oh, the green continues. I don't mean to be negative, but I want to let you know that whenever I hear you say marsh, it reminds me of South Park. Well, is that negative even? How often do I say marsh? Like Marsh Flats? Yeah, if we were a mono green commander deck, well, minus this thing, we would be pretty good. Now our opponent's down to making 6 drops, and they're not very good. Oh, you said I don't mean this to be negative. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, I don't take it negative. Well, thank you, Zips fan. Alright, what green creature do we get this time? It's still going! Oh my god. I seriously have never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. Marshmallow Tutelage? Oh yeah, I guess that would require me to say marsh. Oh. Does that kill us? Aurelia, if you're going to hit 6 drops, Aurelia is a good one. Look at this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 green mana symbols. 16! This is one of the longest games of Momir I've ever played. Usually you get to 8 and 9 drops, and someone eventually hits something awesome that just wins the game. But we've hit exclusively... We've probably hit like 80% of the green 8 drops ever printed. Like, how many can there even be? Well, here comes a big attack. So let's do some blocking. See if we die here. So block, block, block. I don't think we actually die. Block, 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 block. And block, and we take 9. Oh my god, it untaps Leviathan! At least they don't have islands. I didn't lose. This only triggers the first time each turn. You don't get to just attack infinitely. So they get to attack again. If they want to. But now we have a bunch of blockers. Well, we just gotta hit a big flyer. If they had islands, we'd be dead. If Leviathan could actually attack. Wait, you can't attack with Leviathan. That doesn't work. That's true, it is a blocker. Man, combo. Would we be dead, though? We would have taken... I think we were dead if we did that. Because we would have taken an additional 5. Oh. It might be that Leviathan's actually bugged. It's making him pay. So since that happened and Moto bugged out, I'm gonna scoop because I think Scratch is favored to win. We could have hit a flyer and then we might have won, but with the Leviathan back to block, I don't think we would have won there. So, where's Tomer? We need Tomer for Moto fail number 1. Alright, we'll keep this. Yeah, Scratched. You're the one that broke Moto. Not my fault. Alright, let's get a good 2-drop for once. No green creatures this game. So close to being a mana creature. Excuse me, but you actually have to pay mana to add the mana. So it's more filtering mana. At least it attacks for 1. Which is good. Mulligan to get blue sources. Yeah, apparently Leviathan breaks Moto. That's what we learned from that game of Momir. Whoa! Creatures have haste and attack each Ooh. That could actually be really bad. It's gonna potentially force bad attacks like crazy. Can only block creatures with flying. Well, that doesn't help. We might actually just lose here. I'm bored of playing Grixis Control, Grixis Delver, looking to play something new in these colors without spending $1,000. Any ideas? So I'm guessing Modern? You're playing? What other Grixis Modern decks are there? I have never played Flottery. I've heard of it, but I've never actually played it. Guardian Beast. As long as it's untapped, non-creature artifacts can't be enchanted, have indestructible, and other players can't gain control of them. Alright, so we're taking 4. We really need to hit creatures that can block, though, for this plan to work. The idea is that since they have to attack, we can just block and kill. Ugh! Ouch! We eviscerated ourselves. Lost 5 life. Maybe I should be leaving back Bog Initiate as another blocker. Also, if Scratch is a flyer, things could go very wrong. Oh no! Oh, that's a lot of power and toughness. That's gonna make 7 power if they sack a creature. They can even sack Hellraiser if they want. But they're pretty close to just winning. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jeez. Hellraiser Goblin's actually been pretty good here. Yeah, it is a baby Grave Titan. Keeps the Hellraiser, and here comes everything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we have to kill the Hellraiser, actually. I think we do. I think we're getting to the point where it's actually going to kill us. I think we got to kill the Goblin, because if they just hit a fire or something, we just are going to die. Ugh! Artifact, creature, or enchantment. Land is not one of the types it can return. Oh, the Blue-Red Thopter Prison deck is pretty sweet. I played that. I think we streamed that at one point a while ago. Do you think you could replace some of the Shriekhorns and Valakut Dredge with Tormenting Voice, or is it just better to have lower costs that doesn't need more lands to play? I guess you'd have to experiment with it. I don't think we'd want to make that change. Like, off the top of my head, I haven't really thought about it deeply. But my initial reaction is probably a bad idea. Ooh, alright. Get to refill our hand. And get a big flyer. So we might be getting back into this after all. Well, we're just going to take whatever pile has 3. Trying to keep us from getting the swamp, I see. Alright, let's pass. Well, we're kind of close to 13. Not really. We need like some more card draw of some kind. At least we have a flyer, which is, oh no. Oh, Dragon Mage would refill both of our hands. But I don't think we can let that hit us. Alright, let's make an 8-drop. That'd put us to 1, right? More big green creatures. Yeah, there's not too many ways to get punished for being at 1 life. I don't think our opponent's going to attack into us anyway. Oh, no. Okay, it's only creatures? That's still pretty bad. Living Inferno is pretty good. Alright, come on, something good. I don't know if Pestilence Demon is the thing we were hoping for. I guess it can wrath the board and kill us. Almost wrath the board. Yeah, Pestilence Demon is really good, as is Living Inferno. I just wish we were at higher life total. Tika's Dragon. Flying Trample Rampage 4. Okay. Only 9 mana. Well, I guess we keep doing the same thing. Make an 8-drop. Ugh. This is one of the reasons the 8-drops have gotten worse. Distended Mindbender is pretty bad. Let's see if Living Inferno is activated. Seeing Rampage reminds me, thoughts on the new melee mechanic? It's not one of the more exciting mechanics for me. I think it's okay, but oh no, our opponent is going to be getting to Emrakul. Well, now we might just be activating Pestilence Demon. How do we lose? The new Grenzo's really cool. Five black mana harass him basically and keeps you at 1. Yeah, the problem is that they could activate Living Inferno in response. So once we start activating and killing our stuff, they would just tap this and wrath our board, I believe. Yeah, Rampage is only for blockers beyond the first one. So we're not dead here. Our opponent... Yeah, Rampage is confusing like that. What's up, Stu? Welcome back. If this forces our opponent to tap their Living Inferno, which it looks like it's going to, now we can go on the... Oh, we can't go on the Pestilence plan. Come on, good 8-drop. Oh, all right. That's actually good. If we survive one more turn, then Breaker of Armies just wins us the game. Yeah, Trench Quarter is pretty big. Our opponent was able to trample over with the Tika's Dragon for some amount. But the lure ability on Breaker of Armies should do it. The 11 drops just aren't all that exciting. Oh, Oh, thank God. It does not have haste. Dragon Tyrant. Big and flying and double striking and trampling, but not going to kill us here. Yeah, Breaker is very good. Alright, opponent passes. So, we just attack. I'm not going to do anything fancy. And this should do it. Flampling all over. Well, the good news is that means one more game of Momir. We could win by time, actually, too. Scratched is getting down there a bit. Yeah, Legionnaire is so bad. There are some bad 8-drops, too. I mean, the variance isn't that bad, but it is one of the worst. Legionnaire is one of the worst. Why do you run other lands if you just play Swamps and Mountains? So, mostly just play Swamps and Mountains, but there are still, like, random things you can hit that make you want the ability to occasionally play other land types. So it's just kind of a hedge, especially since you are discarding them every turn. If you play primarily Swamps and Mountains, you can just discard islands and forests and plains when you don't need them. Yeah, Simic Guildmage doesn't seem especially relevant. But we get to start getting him for 2. Yeah, Denizen of the Deep is really bad. Probably, yeah, worse than Legionnaire. That's true. Oracle's the best. So good. Opponent gets a Samite Archer. Kind of annoying. A Pinger that also can prevent damage. 4-drop for us is Final Sting Fairy, 2/2 flyer, with a not especially good enter the battlefield ability. Destroys a creature that was dealt damage. Yeah, like the Hydra Broodmaster is a good example. We didn't actually end up activating it, but there could have been a situation where we wanted to. Yeah, anything that ramps mana is about the best thing you can get in this format. And then other things that are really good is drawing cards or your opponent discarding cards, because then you have to skip drops if you want to get up to making 7, 8, 9 drops. Every time you discard a card, essentially, you have to skip a turn. And every time you draw a card, you're getting closer to playing things like Emrakul and the really high-end stuff that is pretty much game-winning. If you somehow get to 15 mana and get an Emrakul, pretty much guaranteed to win. Alright, get in for a bit of damage with our flyer. We get a Renegade Warlord. 3/3 first strike when it attacks. Each other attacking creature gets +1/+0. Wildwood Geist for our opponent. 3/3 that gets +2/+2 as long as it's our opponent's turn. So better on offense than on defense. Ooh, yeah. I've never hit a Dark Confidant, but that would be a sweet one. Also, if you get ooh, that's Kamigawa. Kamigawa has the worst cards. Good old 3/3 for 6. Doesn't even drain the opponent for 3. Each player loses life when it dies. Oh, so bad. So many bad Kamigawa creatures. Target artifact creature blocks it if able. Target artifact creature can't block it. Okay. Alright. 7-drop, no Phage. Or Phage would be kind of sweet. Kamigawa is flavorful, I will give it that. Old Barktooth. Barktooth Warbeard? That's a legend? That's on Moto? Why haven't I built a Warbeard commander deck? Oh, I gotta build a Warbeard commander deck now. I did not know that was a thing that I could do. Barktooth Warbeard. I think I have a new favorite card. Are you excited for me for a really sweet Commander Vote deck you could build with Illusions of Choice and Isochron Scepter? Yes, I gotta build Beard Tribal now. I am really excited for a voting deck. I don't know if I hadn't really thought about Isochron Scepter, but yeah. I gotta build Black-Red Beards. Are we just gonna win? Chancellor, alright, there goes our flying. Attacks. That's true. I don't cast my commander that often. Well, might as well do this. What's the... There's some Legends characters that have crazy beards, even if it's not in their name. Like Hundig Gajolson. He's a crazy looking guy. Also with a good beard. Alright, we're gonna lose both. I think. Yup. Drain both of us. Alright, come on 8-drop. Be good to us. Not like the first game. With all the big green things. More Kamigawa. Come on, Barktooth. Get in there with your Warbeard. Uncle Estevan. Yeah, Uncle Estevan has a good beard too. Alright, let's kill this artifact thing. Barktooth with the ultimate sacrifice. I know, I'm not good at getting Trench Gorgers. Our opponent gets... Oh no. That's bad. Tidal Force. This thing has flying, right? Yeah. We're getting a little close to dying. Taps down our Kami. We need a bounce spell. Or Avatar of Fury. Probably the worst of the avatars. We're getting pretty close to being dead. They used to make everything legendary back in, well, I guess the set was called Legends. That's probably why, come to think of it. Yeah, Trench Gorger, in other formats it's not that insane, but in Momir for specific, it is really, really crazy. Deals damage to a creature equal to the number of mountains. Wow! So we're taking 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow. Well, we pretty much have to hit something that's removal this turn or we're dead. Even if we chump 5, yeah. That tapper thing is very good. I think they're going to tap down the Avatar. Alright. Tap down it is. Well... that does it, I think. Block. Yeah, we're dead. Is there a good way to search for Art Tribal? Not that I'm aware of. That's one of the reasons I never do Art Tribal decks. Well, good game scratched. You got me. Broke Moto in game 1, but you still got me. Oh, well, that was fun. Good game, Scratch. Good games. Thank you, thank you. Well, Momir didn't go well for us. It went well for Scratch. The good news is we killed it in our league 5-0 with Bant Spirits, so that was pretty sweet. The deck was really fun to play. I'm glad we played it. So anyway, I think that's going to be all for the stream tonight. We'll do some more Momir next week, I think. I think we're going to wrap things up for tonight. So reminders, replays on the MTG Goldfish replay YouTube. So if you haven't subbed to that, that would be sweet. Also, of course, sub to the Twitch as well so you know when we're streaming. And if you want to support the site, you can get an official playmat or sign up for premium. Anyway, everyone, we will be back on Tuesday with our next stream. I don't know exactly what we're streaming yet, but we'll figure it out. It'll be something sweet. Hopefully we go 5-0. Anyway, between now and then, all the normal stuff on the site, articles, conspiracy spoilers, Much Brew About Nothing, featuring a Legacy Enchantress with one of my all-time favorite games, so don't miss that on Sunday. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. If you if you followed me on Twitter, I tweeted a little bit about it. I have literally never laughed so hard at something that happened in a Magic game. So don't miss that on Much Brew this weekend because it was so funny. Anyway, thanks everyone. It's been a blast. We'll be back Tuesday with another one, and I will see you then.